Hi there, I'm Davidson McLean.
And I'm Jacob Breland.
Welcome to your Sophomore Transition Conference. Our video production class was asked by Mrs. Geinert to give you a better understanding about some of the resources and options you have in the next 2 years at Grand Forks Central.
We're going to discuss your grades, transcripts, and credits, and their role in your high school career. We will go over what is needed to graduate and how you can help keep track of your grades.
We'll also cover AP and dual credit programs and the benefits that taking these classes offer. We'll also talk about classes that are most beneficial to you and your future.
Your counselor, Mrs. Geinert, will talk about some North Dakota academic scholarships. We also will hear from Eric Ripley, the district director of CTE. He's going to talk about CTE education and scholarships.
After, we're going to talk about the available tools such as Are You Ready ND and your 4-year plan and job shadowing opportunities.
Now to Mrs. Geinert to talk about grades and transcripts.
Hi, and welcome to your sophomore conference. Today we're starting off with a video, which we thank Mr. Lennon and his video production classes for putting together for us. In the video, you'll learn more about what's on your transcript, how to check your graduation progress online, and also some information for planning for classes for next year, including the difference between dual credit and advanced placement classes, as well as the requirements for some North Dakota scholarships. After the video, you'll get to visit with me and Mrs. Duncan in the Career Center. We hope you find the information helpful today, and I look forward to seeing you soon. So to check your grades, I would suggest going on to PowerSchool. You as a student should have your login information. For parents, you should have a separate login and password. If you don't, you should contact Kate Smothers in the main office, or you could ask your student to show you his or her grades. Look at PowerSchool. With each grade, you should have the ability to click on the grade, and then you'll be able to see a drop down of all of the assignments and whether they've been turned in, if they're missing, and the grade that the student earned for each of them. So on your transcript, there is a record of all of the courses you have completed. Only the semester grade or the year-long grade will be noted on your transcript, but it lists everything from middle school, if you had a high school level course there, for instance, Algebra 1, or if you received high school credit from any other middle school course. So it lists all of your classes that you have taken, and then also shows your total credits that you've earned so far, your GPA, and then also at the very bottom of your transcript will show test scores for the ACT and the SAT. To get a copy of your transcript, you can visit with Kate Smothers in the main office, or there is an option to order transcripts online, which we can review. And the importance of transcripts is that colleges look at those. If you're looking at workforce placement, the military, really any post-secondary option is going to ask for your transcript so they can see what you took, how you did, and see how prepared you are to enter their setting.
The next thing we'll cover is advanced placement and dual credit classes. Both classes are taught at an accelerated level. For AP classes, if you take the year-end test and receive a 3 or higher, it will count as a college class, whereas completing any dual credit course will give you college credit of that course through Lake Region State College, and it can transfer to any North Dakota college. Now we will have some interviews with AP and dual credit teachers who can answer more of your questions.
Taking an AP course, I think, really challenges a student, helps them, I would say, to do better in college. It's geared more towards the college level as far as rigor goes, and I think it really helps them develop, especially for this course, helps them develop their analytic skills and become stronger writers and critical thinkers.
I think it's beneficial for students to take an AP or dual credit class because it allows them to experience a college-like course before they actually get to college. What's nice about it is it allows them to do it still in a high school setting, and I think that's something that students should take advantage of.
Well, whether you're taking dual credit or AP, one of the benefits is that it gives you a head start on your collegiate career. So it really depends on if you're planning on going to college and where you want to go to college. If you're thinking you want to stay in state, then taking a dual credit course is a great way to go. Dual credit is not automatically accepted by out-of-state institutions, so that's something that you would need to think about. AP, however, is, but in that instance, AP always has an exam that you have to take at the end of the year, and in order to get credit for AP, you have to receive a certain score. So it's not an automatic that you're going to receive credit for that, whereas in dual credit, as long as you get a C or above, you'll receive credit. But that only goes to any institution in the state, and AP is nationally accepted.
I think the benefits of an AP class are that if you can pass that test, then you can get college credit at most college campuses around the nation. And I think if you take a dual credit course, it's beneficial for North Dakota students because if you are able to get a C or higher, that grade will transfer over to any North Dakota institution. You take it through Lake Region College, and if you are able to pass it, it will transfer to UND or NDSU or whatever other North Dakota school you want to go to. And I have heard that some college campuses in Minnesota will take it too, so that's a nice benefit. You don't have to pass a test, and sometimes that's a good way for kids to go.
Motivated students. Students who want the experience of having, like I said before, a more rigorous schedule. Students who maybe did really well in English, felt like they were real challenged by it. Students in this case who like to read and write, don't take the class. If you don't like to read or write, it's going to be a long year for you. So that's what my suggestion would be.
Students that are serious about their education. I think that might be the #1 factor that individuals have to consider when taking dual credit or AP, because some of the courses have a lot of reading and outside work to them, while other dual credit and AP courses require a certain level of maturity when you enter into the classroom. And so making sure that you're ready for that type of environment, because that's what you're trying to create as a dual credit or AP instructor, is that collegiate experience. And so if you have individuals that are not going to take the class seriously or are not ready for the course load, that might infringe upon not only their experience but their course mates' experience as well. So you really want to assess why you're taking the course, and then if you're ready for that level of maturity and that level of work ethic.
I think for both classes, what I would be looking for is somebody that's willing to work hard and they're willing to really put some effort out there. I would encourage students to take it if they're a good reader or enjoy reading. But I think the most important quality overall is going to be just that work ethic. If you're willing to put in a little bit of time at home, and I'm not asking for a lot, but just a little bit, and to be a little bit responsible, then you're in the right place.
Anyone who's interested in working hard, anyone who's interested in reading very widely, and anyone who's interested in discussing ideas would be a great candidate for our class.
If you are serious about taking a dual credit or AP course, the more you read, the more you know, and that's going to make it easier. I often have students say to me, well, why does it matter if I read? It's just that simple. If you read more, you will have a larger vocabulary. You will be able to read at a faster pace. And when you enter the collegiate world, what individuals say is that if you're going to go to a 2 or 4 year institution, you need to be able to read or handle 200 to 400 pages of reading each week. So if you're not reading at least 200 pages a week, you're not preparing for that type of atmosphere. And I think that's something that's really, really important that individuals need to understand. You would not go and run a marathon without running at least some distance ahead of time. The same thing with encountering collegiate courses. You don't just want to take courses when you haven't been reading and preparing throughout your academic career. If you do take them and you haven't been preparing, it's going to seem like quite a shift in the very beginning.
I would say showing up into the class, you should, like I mentioned, be a pretty avid reader, be very comfortable with writing various things. In terms of preparation for the test, we work all year on test prep, on strategies. We write constantly, we read constantly. The other thing I would say too is as much background knowledge as you have about the world, the better you'll do in a class like this, because you can bring that information in and use it in your arguments.
No preparation or knowledge for the class. Being in the class is completely an elective, and you or anyone else is free to join if you'd like. Some summers we do summer reading assignments, so that preparation would be part of the expectation of the course. In terms of the test, you don't have to do anything other than pay attention in class, be with us in class, and you'll do just fine.
For AP or dual credit biology, some prior knowledge of chemistry would be helpful, but in all honesty, a student could come in here with no prior knowledge and still be successful.
I believe the test in the spring is roughly $90. That's the only cost associated with the class. I do know that there are grants and things available if the cost of the test is a little too much for a person to afford, but other than that, just your time.
The cost of dual credit and AP courses is very minimal compared to what you would pay at an institution, and that's one of the huge benefits for students.
With dual credit, you would pay the course fee through Lake Region State College. That would be done, I believe, each semester. For AP, if you're trying to take the AP exam at the end of the year, there is a fee that goes with that AP exam. But otherwise, the course itself is free as part of public education.
When you're looking at dual credit, it's maybe a fourth, if not less, of what the cost would be if you took it at UND. And the same thing with AP. The AP exam is either $80 or $90 right now, and you can also apply for assistance on that. So you may not even have to pay that much for it. And that's something to consider as well. And these courses in college could be anywhere from $1,000 and up, whereas here you're looking at $250 and less.
That this is run like a college level course. There are expectations that maybe would be a little bit different than a typical English class. I expect you to show up ready, having the materials done. There's no late work. It's just a more rigorous class. But I also think that it's definitely worth the time. It's a lot more fun. We have discussions that probably wouldn't have in a normal level class, and are able to talk about and write about some things that I think really are relevant to a student's world.
I do think that each AP course and dual credit course takes a certain amount of time and work. If you're going to sign up for more than one, you really need to examine what type of individual you are and if you're academically ready for that. So if you're going to take 2 AP courses, then you're looking at more homework every single night.
I think each student that wants to take the course should look at themselves and determine if they are willing to put work in on their own, and if they're willing to, if they want to work hard to earn a grade in the class. It's not going to be just show up and get a grade. It's going to be working hard and doing some homework and really being able to critically think about the topics that we're looking at.
Students need to know that they'll be reading a lot, they'll be writing a lot, they'll be critiquing each other's writing quite a bit, so they need to be open and open to that experience. And they have to feel comfortable talking in front of other people. The biggest thing to know is that you need to do these things in college, so this is a great place to learn how to do those things. This is a great place to prepare for those skills.
We hope that helps give you a better understanding of some of the accelerated classes available to you. If you have any questions, be sure to pause the video. And with that, we will hand the video off to our other seniors, Jack and Faith.
Thanks, Adrian and Skylar. And as he said, my name is Faith Rodriguez.
And I'm Jack Dauphiné.
We will be taking you guys through the rest of the video. As Skylar mentioned earlier, Eric Ripley will talk about some scholarship opportunities that can be available to you.
Thanks, you guys. I hope that gave you a better understanding of those scholarships. If you have any questions, go ahead and pause the video. Finally, we will discuss some of the tools you have available to help you plan for your future.
My name is Gabriel Randall, and I'm here with the director of CTE, Eric Ripley. Eric, do you want to tell us a little bit about what CTE is?
Sure. CTE is Career and Technical Education. It is a combination of courses that we have at the middle school and high school level for courses that align with students' interests, career pathways, career exploration, and they're elective courses at the high school level.
And what are some of the popular CTE classes?
Well, I think it depends on what the students are interested in. I mean, that's the beauty of CTE, is the fact that we have almost 60 courses total that students can pick from, and a lot of those are specific to what they're interested in. So for example, if you're a student that's interested in video production, there's a course available for you. If you're interested in accounting or medical careers or autos or engineering, I mean, there's a lot of classes. And so really, to me, it's more about what kind of courses are available for students and what are their interests. And it's hard to put one course over another in terms of which ones are more popular. Certain classes have higher enrollments, but that may be because more students are interested in those.
And what are some benefits of CTE?
Well, for me, I always say that college is a pretty expensive career development curriculum, right? And so what I want students to do, especially when they get done with high school, is make an educated decision on whatever their next step is. I think for too long, everybody was told that you had to go to a four-year school and get a four-year degree in something. That's not necessarily the case anymore, and our CT courses align up with two-year technical degrees, but also four-year degrees. I mean, if you wanted to become a doctor, we have medical careers classes. But if you want to be an auto mechanic, we also have auto mechanics classes. And so, to me, it's let's take CT courses at the high school level to either because that's what you know you want to do, and maybe you want to start getting that career pathway developed. In some cases, students aren't sure what they want to do, and so they do maybe a little exploration. Take a class, try it. If I like it, maybe I'll consider taking another course. So for me, CT classes where the value is really is for students to be able to start and explore that career pathway while in high school, when really all it's costing you is your time, versus college when it's going to get quite expensive.
What are some scholarship opportunities for CTE?
Sure. So one of the scholarships that is available for all North Dakota students is what's called the North Dakota Academic and Career and Technical Education Scholarship, or CTE, is probably the quicker way of saying that. And with that scholarship, there's a certain level of criteria that's available, but one of the things under both is students can take what's referred to as a coordinated plan of study. So if they take 2 credits within CTE in a single pathway, so 2 credits of marketing or 2 credits of faculty sciences, that is one of the eligibility requirements for meeting the academic or CTE scholarship. And there's other requirements, and I would encourage students to visit with their counselors about that. We're also seeing very, very popular now is a lot of industries are having a hard time developing a pipeline of talent. And so what they're doing is they're being very proactive in terms of offering students the ability to go to school on the company's dime, on essentially somebody else is paying for that in exchange for that individual coming back and working for them. And so you think of programs like Butler's Think Big program, because they're struggling to find diesel mechanics, and so they're paying for people to go to school to get that degree in exchange for that person returning and working for Butler after they're done. John Deere has a program like that. You're seeing a lot of programs like that in HVAC, electrical, plumbing, etc. So that's not necessarily a scholarship, but it's an opportunity, I think, for students to get some of their schooling paid for if they're interested in that area.
And would you recommend this for all types of students?
I really would. The thing that we a lot of times talk about within our courses, and again, they're electives, so that means that students are having to try to figure out a way to fit them in their schedule. But our courses are generally very hands-on. They're relevant to what the students are interested in. They're project-based. So we talk a lot about these skills of critical thinking, creativity, collaboration. That really are hallmark trademarks of our CT courses. And so I do think that they benefit all students. For those that want to know what they want to do moving forward out of high school, we think we have courses that line up well for them. And for those students that maybe aren't interested or not sure what they want to do, we have the ability for them to kind of start exploring different career pathways.
Okay, well, it was nice interviewing you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, you too.
We're going to log in over here on the right. The format is nd dot your last name, lowercase, period, first name, period, the month you were born, the day you were born, and the year. Just like that. The password is your lunch account number. Once you get signed in, you're going to, there's a few resources that you have. Testive is a great resource going into your junior year. This has got prep for ACT and SAT right here. And by clicking on this link, you can get started. It's all free. They have videos to help you get ready. They can all be used in preparing for a big test. Going back to the home page, go to your profile, and by going to your profile, you can look at all of these as tools to help you look at your career planning as well as your 4-year plan. To click on your profile and scroll down until you get to your 4-year plan. This is your 4-year plan. It's got the courses you have taken, the courses you plan to take. This is all set up and can be edited by you, your parents, or your counselor. There's college planning as well as career planning based on your career interests.
So thank you again for coming in for your sophomore conference today. We're done with the video portion, and then now you will either meet with me or Mrs. Duncan in the Career Center, and we'll finish off your sophomore conference for this year.